Welcome back to Africa This Morning with me, Cherotich Kenei. Now, this is the Business Insight, where we dive into the world of women and banking. Speaking to Najma Jabri, Product Manager for the Gulf African Bank. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Cherotich.
I think we need to start. First begin at the present situation.
Yes.
Where, in terms of financing, is the woman, the Kenyan woman?
If you look at the latest research, like I looked at what IFC did around 2010, 2011, out of the 42 million Kenyans, there are 2.4 million MSMEs, meaning the micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. And out of this, only 24% are owned and managed by women. So you can see it's a very small percentage, meaning that women are hardly embracing entrepreneurship. And the worst part being less than 50% of them are actually having any kind of banking relationship with any financial institution. So meaning despite the fact them being very few, less than 50% have access to financing, and which is a major challenge, and that's why you would see most of the women still own very small businesses and they're not able to prosper and grow their businesses because they've not embraced the financial sector. Yes, so Kenya today, that's where we are with women entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I think my second question would be, we have now that large figure of women not having the financial pool to pull up themselves from the micro SMEs to become actually a medium income earning SME, to graduate actually. So where does the disparity come in? If you look, like let's say for Gulf African Bank, we've really done a lot of research into the women markets, and what we realized is first of all, there's a misconception about the financial industry and banking, with most women feeling that it's very expensive, it's not for them. There's the issue of culture, and they believe they should be in the home front. So like for us, what we have done is actually created an account for women that is really affordable, and I think by having women into the financial sector is the first step towards eradicating poverty and encouraging the women to take up entrepreneurship. So we have custom made our products for the women, which is really affordable, no ledger fee, no monthly fee, and so many other benefits. And then we also realized that the women have fear for the banking and they feel it's a male dominated area, it's not for us. So what we've also done is created an environment that is suitable for them. We have centers that are totally dedicated to serve the women, like branches for women only. And we have from the security to the managers, everybody there is dedicated to serve the women. And even if you go to our normal branches, we have a counter just for the women. So when they come in, they realize, yes, this is a place I'm accepted, I'm appreciated. And these are the efforts we've done towards ensuring that women embrace the financial sector. The other thing we realized is that women need capacity building. There's a lot of, the women are not educated on how to grow their businesses, on how to manage their finances. So apart from the account and creating the environment they can access banking, we've also done capacity building. We have workshops across the country. So we have in Garissa, Mombasa, Nairobi region, and we gather women for a whole day workshop. They don't need to pay. So we just call speakers, and the speakers come, they inspire, they educate the women, and that's a very important step. Like we get women to talk about how to turn your passions to profit and encourage the women that they can start their own businesses, and as a bank we'll be there to support them. So that's another milestone we've taken, and with capacity building we're seeing actually women starting to embrace entrepreneurship. Yes. Let me take you to this question and this fact. We know that empowering the woman is not an individual task, but it's a communal one. So that means the government and the private sector need to work hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Let's speak about the government, what they are doing to ensure that the woman gets financed. We have UWEZO, we have the KWFT, we have the Women's Fund for the women to be able to, the Women Enterprise Fund. Is this enough?
I think the government, apart from giving the women the funds, they should also have a mechanism on how to train the women and how to build capacity. And we also need to look at the amount we're giving, and is it sufficient? And when you're saying let's form all these groups, do the groups actually have a common vision? So if you're bringing up a group of 10 women, and if their motivation is to get the money, and they don't have a common vision, then the probability of the group actually succeeding is actually minimal. So apart from giving the funds, I think there should be a lot of capacity building, and maybe they should partner up with the banks who have a lot of experience and expertise in this area to also come in and help the women on how to manage these funds. And it doesn't have to be a group thing. We can also, I think the government needs to go back to the drawing table and see, must it be group lending? Why don't we give individuals who have worthy business ideas, and how do we ensure that the business cases that they table will actually be fruitful at the end of the day? And as you know, like for these women who even go for this type of financing, is that most of the banks are asking for collateral.
Yes.
And as we know, women, it's very few women who actually own any property, or you don't even have a logbook, we don't have a title deed. And if you go to mainstream financial sector, this is what they'll ask you for, for you to get the financing.
But is there a solution to this?
Absolutely. Like if you look at what Gulf African Bank has done, we've come up with a micro lending product for the women. And the security we're asking for is that we know these women don't have title. So we are taking chattels, and chattels is like items you have in your household, which everyone has access to, in addition to hypothecation, which is the goods you own in your shop. And we are trying to build these women into SME, so they can come and borrow small amounts, and security being assets we know for sure they own. And we can keep on graduating them. And even the profit we are charging, we just do a 10% profit for these women, and we are giving them enough tenor. We come into your business, we look at what you're doing, we become financial advisors. We gauge your business and advise you, this is the amount you should take, invest it this way, then after you finish this, let's expand your business. And our whole purpose being that we want to grow this business to be SME and to be corporates, and to actually empower the women, especially those involved in business.
All right. From experience, is the woman, when she borrows the loan, is she quick to return her loan?
Absolutely. I think research has proved that women are very prudent lenders. And when a woman actually, we are very risk averse. So by the time a woman decides that I'm going to take this financing, she already has her mindset on, yes, these are my daily expenses, and the repayment is catered into that. So even if you look at the whole banking sector, the number of women who've actually defaulted are very minimal. And that's why I think even Gulf African Bank is willing to go this route, because they know women are prudent borrowers and they would actually repay. And it's very rare cases you'll find a woman defaulting upon taking financing.
We've touched on the government financing, what Gulf African Bank is doing, but what can the entire public, you know, chip in to ensure that this woman is my sister, this woman is my mother, she's my daughter? How do we get the woman to feel comfortable that indeed I can go to a bank, pitch in my business plan, have the bank finance me? How do we get the community to support the woman?
I think even the government needs to play a role, because there's a lot of cultural hindrances, and most of our women actually believe their place is in the community, is in the home front. Especially if I talk about the Muslim community, most of the women are actually at home, and it's very rare for them to come out and actually start making a living and supporting the family. So I think there's supposed to be a lot of awareness and a lot of education, and a lot of the men especially to be educated on the importance of letting the women come out and assist, ensuring that the family has a better life. Yes.
Do you think if the woman is given the opportunity to excel, she will push Kenya forward?
Absolutely. As we know, if even you see at the women who have taken up leadership roles, they are doing a fantastic job. And if they're just given the chance, we would be able to turn this economy. And that's why I'm happy with the new laws that have come up with affirmative action, that women are actually given opportunities, with the government saying that a third of the workforce need to be women.
Yes.
And as we embrace this and fight the
battle,
yes,
to have
equality battles, I'm sure Kenya would actually be able to reap the benefits from allowing the women to come into the workforce.
Okay, so lastly, other than what you have said, is there any promising future for the woman in the Gulf African Bank? Are we looking for more products that will enhance the woman to grow?
Absolutely. We are coming up with so many products from the Anissa account, which the features are fantastic, from the centers we have, the financing products we have. We also have the SME sector already in place, and quite a number of women have benefited from the financing we are doing at that front. And we are also working on creating so many other products. We have great products for kids as well. So it goes hand in hand with the women's product.
Okay, before we just finalize, you talk about the kids banking.
Yes.
How, do you link the woman banking with the children, or is it an independent product on its own?
Actually, if you look at my role, I look at the women and kids, because once it goes hand in hand. So as we talk to the women, we are also encouraging them to save for their kids, to inculcate the culture of saving to their children from an early age. So we have an account for them, and we give the kids a saving bank, and we encourage the parents to give the kids and to teach them how to save. We are also encouraging them to come to their kids to the banking hall. You know, once the kid has saved 1,000 or 2,000, let the kid come and actually deposit to his or her own account, and let them start embracing the financial sector from an early age, so that they also do not become scared and think, you know, this banking is not for me. And you know, yes, so the women product and kids account move hand in hand, and we are educating the public and driving the two of them hand in hand.
Okay. I know that was the last question, but just to give in this final input, is there a way Gulf African Bank is linking the woman not only to just save and to use her money for business, but do you go the extra mile to educate her on what ventures she should invest in?
Absolutely, and that's what I was talking about, the workshops we hold. We hold annual workshops in different towns where we have a branch presence, and we call these women to the forums, and we have a full day function whereby we call in speakers who will come and inspire and educate the women. Our women's centers, the one we have also, our staff are financial advisors. So when the women come, they have a forum to engage and discuss and seek advice. Because the bank has invested a lot in the women markets. We have dedicated resources to handle women issues and to talk to the women and to encourage them. So we have 2 full branches that just deal with women. And if you come to all our other branches, we have a counter and a dedicated resource to the women. So if they come to our banks, we will be able to be their financial advisors and help them out on any financial issues they might have.
Your last words of wisdom to a woman who's listening right now and watching us, and she's thinking whether or not should I go for that loan, what would you say?
I would say come to us, we'll be able to advise you. Do not be afraid of taking the financing. As long as your business, you've started up the business, come to us and we'll be able to advise you whether at this point you should be taking financing, or at what point of your business should you be thinking of taking the financing. So the first step to do is to come to the bank and let us be your partners to success.
So it's like a partnership, it's like a story. You're telling a story of someone.
Exactly.
You take them from the beginning and to the end when they become maybe a big corporate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this discussion.
For having me.
Well, thank you for staying tuned to Ebru Africa. That was Eat for Business Inside, where we're discussing about women and financing. I'm Cherotich. Kenei. Now continue the rest of your viewing here at Ebru Africa this morning. Goodbye.